Hey everyone, and welcome to another Auto Alpha video. Today we're finally back on Forza Horizon 4. It's been a while since we were on this game. When was the last time? I don't remember. Probably the 4 Challengers video stream that we did a while ago. But today we're doing a very interesting comparison that probably you wouldn't expect, because it's something that you wouldn't really compare with each other. One of the cars we're using is the Volkswagen IDR. We're going to quickly look through the stats. 670 horsepower, 650 newton meters of torque. It only weighs 1,100 kilos, and it has a good 50-50 weight distribution, as you can see, and it's all-wheel drive. So it's a pretty cool car, I have to say. And according to the game, it only costs 250 grand, which is way too little, I have to say, because this is a pretty extreme race car. It's not even a race car, it's a car that is unlimited, and yeah, it just has no purpose. It's just so then it can test the limits of a car. But the other car that we're looking at, also another one which tests the limits of an actual car, is this, the Rimac Concept 2. It's got a massive amount of power, as you can see, and it's pretty quick. So yeah, they're different purposes, because this is a road car, the other one wasn't. Wait a minute, those stats look a bit... Hang on, the stats that we saw... Ah, that's right. The stats were a bit higher than usual, so yeah, as you can see, it's not stock. Anyway, just give us a moment while we fix that. There we go. And yeah, stock now. So yeah, this Rimac is called the Concept 2 in the game, but in real life it's been named, so it's now the what's it called, the Nevera. It's pretty cool, named after a storm in the Mediterranean. But as you can see, it's got 1,887 horsepower in the game. In real life it's got a bit more than that, but there you go. 2,300 newton meters of torque, so that's absolutely massive. By comparison, the Porsche 918 has 1,000, so more than double that. But this car is a lot heavier, as you can see. 1,950 kilos of weight, and weight distribution, it's not 50-50, but it's near enough, but you know, not completely perfect. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it fares against the IDR, because this is more, I'm going to say, more straight line suited, but this one's, as you can see, the massive aero devices make it much better in the corners. So let's see how it goes. First of all, we're actually going to have a look at the design of the two cars, comparing them. And as I said, this car has a very angular look, and of course, because of these aero devices, it's designed perfectly to basically just shape the car around, so then it's more streamlined as possible, less drag, but also producing pretty high amount of downforce. So yeah, pretty cool. And from the front, as you can see, it's got these sort of headlights. They're quite cool, but I thought it was actually a bar at first, going, you know, that sort of thing that goes through the middle and then around the Volkswagen logo. I thought that was a light bar, but it wasn't. But you know, never mind. And yeah, so going down the side, as you can see, we've got quite high profile tyres. You know, you might not expect them to be so high profile, but they are. So there you go. And yeah, again, very similar thing to say. It's very angular. You can see there's like a sort of bargeboard thing there as well. Oh yeah, and big number 94 there. I think this was like the car that broke the Pikes Peak record, which is basically a massive hill climb, which it goes so high that it can affect the sort of power output of normal internal combustion engine cars, because there's less oxygen the higher up you go. And this car, because it's electric, doesn't require oxygen technically, so yeah, power output does not go down at all. And as you can see, opening the door, it comes off. So yeah, that's how it works. No need for hinges. That makes it heavier. At any rate, as you can see, there are like sort of vents as well to cool off the tires while you're going, and then it can just okay, that's another way to get into the car. But anyway, yeah, you've got those vents above the wheels that cool down the tires. They get very hot, and you've got massive brakes as well, which you need, of course. So we're going to have a look at the interior, maybe not. Interesting to note as well that on the rear wheels, the brake calipers are actually at the bottom, which is unusual. Didn't really expect that. But as you can see, at the rear, you've got that massive rear wing dominated, which dominates this rear end, and you can see that you've got those massive like turning vanes in the sort of end plates of this rear wing, and you've got those pillars in the middle as well. And I don't actually know how, but these pillars in the middle provides extra downforce. I really don't know how, but kind of does. And actually, I just noticed there the number plate, they sort of engraved it there. That's quite neat. But yeah, you've also got a big diffuser, all to add rear downforce onto the car, and a lot of stability at the rear when you're driving. So that's very cool, and that's about it for design of this IDR. Now we're going to turn to the Rimac, and design philosophy, of course, very, very different. There's no mistaking that, of course. This is a road car. The other IDR was not. So wait, did I call this an IDR? This is the Rimac. I meant the Concept 2. The IDR was, of course, a de-restricted race car. So yeah, you can't expect it to look similar at all, and it doesn't. So at the front, you can see they've gone for an elegant design. It looks pretty cool. Those bonnet scoops are not fake. They do cool down the car. Electric cars need cooling, but not as much as ICE cars, internal combustion engine cars. But yeah, people may say that electric cars don't need cooling. They do, but just not as much. So here down the side, you've got again elegant design with those air vents as well that are not fake, of course. And the doors, they're actual doors. They're not sort of body panels that you take off. So there you go. Down the rear, you've got diffuser at the bottom, of course. It's not as big as the one in the IDR, but you can't expect it to be. And yeah, nothing really much to say. It's just clean, simple, and you've got a rear wing that is adaptive, goes up and down depending on what speed you're going. I think, yeah, I can't remember how fast you have to be for it to go up, but it tends to go up very quickly because this car is very quick. As you can see, it's actually winter as I'm testing this, so yeah, I'm just revving up the electric motor. Not that you can actually hear it that much, at least, but yeah, it's winter as I'm testing this. So one thing to note is that both these cars I'm going to run with the snow tyres, so then they're running the same compound of tyre. This, well, I might do this for every single comparison video in Forza Horizon 4, because I'm more comparing the cars, not the package of it with the tyres, you know. So there you go. Snow tyres are on the cars. They're not available in any other season. It's only when it's winter in the game, then gives you that option to choose that. Every car that has the snow tyre has the little sort of frost, what are they called? Oh, snowflake, of course. The little snowflake, snowflake symbol, and then that shows that they're on that tyre. But as you can see, doing the same for the IDR, just to show you guys that I'm actually doing stuff. And there you go, both cars applied with that compound. So yeah, let's get straight into the comparison. You probably waited a long time for this, so here we are then, in the IDR now, again revving it up. Not that you can actually hear it, but I mean you probably can, but not that much. So first test, I think it's going to be the straight line performance test. We're going to do the half-mile drag race here on the the Greendale the Greendale Aerodrome drag strip. There you go. And yeah, like I said, it's half-mile, so that should be enough time to test its launching ability and its sort of top-end capability as well. So we're going to do the Volkswagen first, as you can see, and don't worry about the rivals, we're mainly just looking at the time that the car produces. But yeah, as you can see, shouldn't be too hard to beat them all. But yeah, we're going to compare the half-mile times and then see what happens. Launch, no problem at all, no real amount of wheel spin, so now we're just going to drive in a straight line. One thing to note, this car has, I'm pretty sure, one gear, so not like the Rimac, which has a 2-speed gearbox. But as you can see, one of our rivals was stock IDR, but we're not going to be worrying about that one. The time was a 14.114 half-mile time. So remember that, we're going to be doing the same thing for the Rimac in just a second. But yeah, 14.1, very quick over a half-mile. Now let's see what the Rimac can do. I've lost several. No. Anyway, let's do it. Initial launch was not really, not as good as the IDR, I'd say, because quite a lot more wheel spin. But as you can see, we're way faster over the top end, and that is a very good run. Let's see what the time was. 11.678. That is some 2.5 seconds quicker than that IDR, which is pretty insane, because considering that IDR, the VW, is not a slow car at all. That's a good time. That's very good from the Rimac. Next test we're going to do is the circuit lap time sort of test that we're going to do around this circuit, which I did make myself. It's probably a bit terrible, but because I made it. But anyway, let's see what the cars can do. We're going to start off with the IDR once again, and how this is going to work, I'm going to wait for everybody else to go, so then we have no traffic. This is going to be based on lap time instead of instead of position, obviously. So let's see how each car would fare. Because this is the first lap, and because I've basically stopped, this first lap is not going to count. But so as a result, there's going to be 2 laps left after this 3 laps race. So then I have 2 chances to get a lap in for each car. First lap will just be like a sighting lap, and while I'm doing my sighting lap, you can also have a look at the circuit as I'm driving it right now. And yeah, it's very twisty, so it's definitely one that's going to test the car's ability to grip up. This is probably the longest straight here. That's it. Yeah, not long at all, but that sounds awkward. Anyway, let's go for the first lap, first proper lap in this IDR, braking for the first oh no, wait, ignore that. This is now I'm going to show you my best lap. Completely messed up line for the first corner, but again, that's the point of having two laps to have a chance to get the good lap in. Got a bit of traffic ahead of me, which is not ideal, so we're going to have to clear that as quickly as we can. Going a bit wide through this right-hander, now going through this left. That car in front of us is going to go straight on, so that's good, no traffic. And so far not been the greatest lap, but not too terrible, I guess. And going through the final few corners, it's going to be the benchmark for the Rimac to beat. What's it going to be? As we cross the line, it's going to be a 50, looks like a 50.3, I think it was. I saw on the lap timer, yeah, 50.353 is the benchmark for the Rimac to beat. So let's see what that car can do as my screen turns off. Hang on. Okay, yeah, I can see again. So here we are then, in the Rimac Concept 2, as it is called in the game. It's now called Rimac Nevera, but never mind. It has gone dark now, so that's going to be less visibility for you guys, but I do know this track pretty well, so hopefully that shouldn't really affect me too much as we wait for the traffic to go. And this is going to be my personal best lap we're going to see. Braking for turn 1, as you can see, got that bit more understeer than that IDR has, and because this is a 2-speed gearbox in this car, it's quite difficult to decide which gear to use, because that first gear is really short, but it does provide good rotation. So yeah, using that first gear is quite difficult to put down the power. As you can see now, we're having snaps of oversteer out of that corner, and again, yeah, not a great lap, but as you can see, that I only had a few chances to go for it, and that was a terrible line through this corner. So yeah, we're destroying everything, aren't we? Not been the great lap, but yeah, we're quite some way off the IDR, even though the IDR lap wasn't that great either. 54.0 was the best lap time. It was faster than most people in this race actually, but you know, it's not as quick as the IDR. Ultimately, that car has way more downforce and grip, as it seems, making better use of its tyres. So as the final test, we are going to do a speed zone, I think. If I remember correctly. We're going to do this one here, which is very twisty, going uphill, and let's see, again, comparing these two cars, what they can do up the hill. So going for the Rimac first, and launching off the line now. Let's see what kind of average speed we can get through the speed zone, that's how they measure it. But here we go, up the hill, getting a good exit out of this first right-hander. Now going uphill again, right on the limit of the grip. Most of the time using first gear actually, but yep, going wide through that final corner. We actually went up onto the hill, or whatever you like to call it. So yeah, that was not the best run. I think we're going to have a go at it going downhill, or maybe no, we're going to do the IDR going uphill first, I think. I recorded this a long time ago, so don't remember what I even did. But anyway, yeah, we're going to go for the IDR uphill, launching off the line. Less torque, less wheel spin, so getting that done pretty easily. You can see that we've got quite a lot more grip in this car. Although saying that, we went wide through the second corner, not too bad. Hitting the wall on the exit, and as we go through this final corner, we're going to grip up. We're going to grip up a lot better, and that is a personal best actually. Going uphill, even yeah, as I said, downhill is. I didn't say this, but going downhill is a lot faster. So actually, just out of interest, I'm going to see how fast this car can go going down as well. So going around what used to be the last corner, now the first one. As you can see, going downhill, we've got much more momentum, and yeah, we're carrying quite a lot of speed through these corners, nothing that any of our other cars can do. And there you go, that's another personal best, 78 miles an hour through this speed zone, which is pretty quick for the average speed. But yeah, I think there's no real point to do that with the Rimac, because ultimately this car has won the challenges. It's too well, in terms of the design sort of challenge, you can decide which car won that, but in terms of performance, it's 2-1 to this IDR. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like. Let me know of any other comparisons you'd like to see on Forza Horizon 4 or any other game. You can put in the comments below. As ever, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.